Today we're going to be learning about the world at war, World War II. In this presentation we're covering a portion of the video, of the PowerPoint, and I will guide you. If you need to, in taking notes, stop and the recording, you can do so, and then you can record or go back to the recording rather when you're complete. Okay, with the Depression abroad, there was a lot of problems. We already talked about totalitarianism, the rise of fascism, and the fact that many citizens believed that by choosing these leaders and their style of government, it would pull their nation out of both economic and political turmoil. We talked about the three key people: Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, and Benito Mussolini. Hitler's war machine. In 1936, Hitler stationed troops in the Rhineland. This was in direct violation of the Treaty of Versailles. The fact is that this was being controlled by France. France allowed them to go ahead and do this, and with that, Hitler felt confident to continue his expansion of German territory. The next, he forced Austria to unite with Germany. In 1938, Hitler called for Czechoslovakia to turn over the Sudetenland. This is a small portion along its western borders that contained many ethnic Germans. When the Czechs refused, Hitler threatened war. This is when the Munich Conference is called in 1936. During this time, France and Great Britain gave in to Hitler's demand for gaining the access to this territory. This is considered to be an act of appeasement, and the British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain declared that this would give peace in our time. In actuality, Hitler stated at a later time, had both France and Britain stood up to him, he would have postponed this aggression at this point in time. Appeasement is simply giving in to an aggressor to keep the peace. Hitler eventually took the rest of Czechoslovakia in March of 1939. Along with that, he also demands that Poland return the city of Danzig, which was part of Germany until the end of World War I. This had been given over to the Polish people and to the country through the Treaty of Versailles. Okay, fighting begins in Europe. Great Britain and France pledged to defend Poland. Hitler secretly negotiates a non-aggression pact with the Soviet leader Joseph Stalin. Germany and Russia agreed to divide up Poland and not to attack each other. This was an uneasy agreement, mainly because of the fact that both Hitler and Stalin despised each other and the form of government that they represented. With the fact that knowing there would not be an attack from Russia and it would not lead to a two-front war, on September the 1st of 1939, Germany invaded Poland. 2 days later, Great Britain and France, the Allied powers, declared war on Germany. Okay, fighting begins in Europe. Hitler attacks Poland in a blitzkrieg. This is a new type of lightning war. They send in airplanes backed up by tanks and troops through the enemy line quickly, and as a result of this, he's able to quickly occupy Poland. Poland was no match. Literally, the Polish generals were arriving on the battlefield with their swords and their horses, so they were hopelessly out of date. The French gathered their troops along the Maginot Line. This was the fortified line of defense along its border with Germany, but it failed to protect France because Hitler decides to take another route, as we'll see in a moment. In February of 1940, Germany occupies first Denmark and invades Norway. During this time from September of 39 to April of 40 is often referred to as the Phony War or Sitzkrieg because nothing was happening. In May, Germany took Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. The Germans could bypass the Maginot Line. They came into Germany from the northeast and also from the southeast and created a pincer move which trapped the Allied forces in France. They were able to escape, some were able to escape to the French port of Dunkirk, where they will escape by boats, whether they be yachts, whether they be merchant vessels or military vessels. They were able to leave and go back to England.